Hi, this is Dr. Campbell, and I wanted to talk today about why do anti-racism policies fail. Now, according to a recent article, the South African government has decided to implement anti-racism policies in a local school. Now, many of those efforts to reverse racism have had a minimal impact. Anti-racism policies fail because they actually drive undesired behavior underground rather than expose the atrocities that will result in the reversal of the behavior. So now, why does racism in education persist though there are strong anti-racism policies? Dysfunctional organizations exhibit several characteristics that are detrimental to the existence of the organization, such as a school. The foundation for the dysfunctional organization begins with each person's use of defensive mechanisms for coping. Defensive mechanisms are those unwritten rules an individual learns and utilizes to effectively deal with circumstances that are upsetting, embarrassing, or threatening. And in this case, it is embarrassing to find that teachers and administrators are disrespectful of anti-racism policies. It is also an economical threat to those teachers who are working. Now, the second level is skilled incompetence, which is the outcome of defensive mechanisms that we have internalized. When the defensive behaviors we've learned are transformed into a learned behavior, that behavior becomes a skill. Even though we call it an incompetent skill that we consider necessary in order to deal with issues that are embarrassing, threatening, or upsetting. A skill that is learned from the regular application of defensive mechanisms has a high degree of incompetence embedded within it because we are unaware how this skill will impact our future. Now, skilled incompetence transforms into defensive routines, and defensive routines are the third level. When the skilled incompetence is automatically exhibited at all times, the behavior is now a defensive routine. The defensive routine is not to take responsibility for the behaviors that are deemed racist. Defensive routines lead to fancy footwork. Now, fancy footwork happens when individuals try to deny the behavior inconsistencies they exhibit, or else they place blame on other people, which results in distancing themselves from taking responsibility for their behavioral inconsistencies. This is where teachers blame students and parents for the need of anti-racism policies. And they do a lot of this through discipline and student discipline and blaming it on student discipline. Now, the final level, fancy footwork, which leads into organizational malaise, and organizational malaise is our final level. During this phase, the individuals in the organization will find fault within the organization, such as the school, rather than accept the responsibility for their actions and correct the behavior accordingly. The individual continues the process by accentuating the negative and de-emphasizing the positive in an effort to cover up their actions. The organizational malaise is further exasperated by a refusal of one or all members to discuss the area of responsibilities. As long as schools continue to exhibit the characteristics of a dysfunctional organization, anti-racism policies will continue to be ineffective. This is Dr. Campbell. You can read about it on my blog at www.positiveracialrelationships.com. If you want to talk about it, you can call me on my direct line, 856-566-3267. Have a great day, and thank you very much.